Welcome back to Let's Play Dungeons & Dragons Online Permadeath. Alright, it is time to start on the harbour. Pretty happy with the spells I got going here for the moment. I might switch them around when I get into the kobold quests, but for now this looks good. And between sessions I did spend 2 enhancement points on getting a few more spell points. I'll go through the build again when I get to level 4 though, which I'm not that far away from at this point. I think I'm about halfway to level 4. Okay, remove the further buffs on, and off we go.
Across the room you see an iron defender. The beast looks fierce. Approaching the creature may cause it to leap to action.
Approaching my skeleton does not cause it to leap to action though. The harbour is one of the parts of the game I really look forward to. Probably one of my favourite parts to play in a group. And I remember to buy spell components for my web this time, so I now actually look like I know what I'm doing. One thing that's, I guess, changed a bit since the last time I ran through this solo is that I've read a lot more of the Eberron lore than I had in the past. I actually have a couple of the Eberron sourcebooks now. I've been reading through a lot of the lore about the setting. Which is quite fun, having explored the world for a long time, actually reading a bit more about it. I've read a couple of Keith Baker's Eberron books as well. I haven't finished reading the series yet. This Dreaming Dark series. We went the wrong way. I think this breakable's the other way. As always, I'm trying to maximize the amount of XP I get by breaking everything. Sorry, I find it easier to jump with my key bindings, so when I'm not playing recorded, I jump when I'm getting through deep water. But I know that is maybe not the best thing for people that are watching it, so I do try to remember to roll rather than jump when I'm recording. It's just a bit fiddly, especially when I'm using push to talk for the commentary here as well. Okay. So House Fialan is one of the dragon-marked houses of Eberron and specialises in entertainment, which is kind of a cover for espionage. And I guess this is where the game kind of introduces that by this guy that we're working for having some kind of shady business going on in the harbour. Well, we see a lot more of House Fialan doing espionage stuff later on in the game, of course.
You see one of Osgood's men making his way down the tunnel ahead. He hears you approach and starts running.
In some ways it's a bit of a pity that the dragon-marked houses stuff in the game sort of peters out around level 8 or 9. Like, they use the houses and the system of trying to gain favour with the houses as a sort of driver for that level 4 to level 9 section of the game. But then the game moves on to working for other organisations, which I guess makes sense the way they've set it up in this game, where the houses are just forces inside Stormreach and reaching out into the jungle around it. But once you go outside Stormreach and its environs, they cease to be important in this game. But that's not at all built into the setting. The houses are a pervasive element in the Eberron setting, so they could have made wider use of them if they'd wanted to. I guess the 12 shows up a lot later on, and the 12 is a function of the houses. But it loses the inter-house rivalry aspect, which definitely you see a lot of all the way up to Freenel in this game. I guess you see a bit of House Caniff later on, but that section's a little different.
You notice that the smuggler is struggling to keep his grip on an awkward container. He must have the artifact you're after.
From talking about the Eberron setting, Baker talks a lot about how he was inspired by sort of cyberpunk in introducing the houses as an element in the game, but they're a definite punk element where they're kind of quite powerful political forces. They're basically large trade guilds that would be the multinational corporations of this world in like another 100 or 200 years. I mean, I guess they already are multinational corporations in the context of this world. I could go up first. I'm used to playing this one in groups, but I don't solo it. I don't solo that often, so or haven't recently.
You hear the grind and clatter of machinery from below. You hear the grind and clatter of machinery from below and to the west. It sounds like something heavy is being ratcheted into place.
Nope, wrong side. This quest can be a bit dangerous at the end, but the rest of it is fairly safe. Especially since I put points into balance earlier on, of course.
Stone against stone from somewhere above, as if a massive barrier is moving aside.
Otherwise you get tripped on Elite by those Iron Defenders that can get a bit nasty. It's one of the things that's always been a bit of a missed opportunity in this game, that they never made use of the Dragon Marks very much. They corrected that a bit when they did the Enhancement Pass. The Dragon Marks are less expensive for how good they are now, but they're still kind of expensive in terms of the power that they bring to the character. Obviously the Healing Dragon Mark is pretty good. You see quite a few characters with that, but you don't see many others.
An Iron Defender with particularly sharp talons moves to attack.
Now this fight is one that can be pretty dangerous. As you see, it's completely safe on a character with charm, but if you get mobbed by these guys and tripped by the Iron Defender, it can be a bit nasty.
This must be where Osgood stashes his illicit goods until they can safely be smuggled out of the harbor.
I'm really unlucky, I'll have to do some fighting myself, but it doesn't look like I will.
But the crumpled metal beast can only manage a whimper.
Alright, that was pretty straightforward. Yay, casting item. Magnetism. Well, I don't have any electric spells yet, so I'm still kind of waiting to get a useful casting item on this character.
You lift the case and slide it onto your back. Quickly return to the Fairlane representative.
Alright, that's it for this video, but I'll be carrying straight on into another quest in a moment. See you in the next video.